And welcome back to Preamped. We are here with Gabe Gentry, who is a fan and a fellow crew member here on Preamped. Gabe, why have you been such a big fan of the band for so many years?
I think that Big Silver's music is honest and has kind of when I first started listening to them, I just first came into to other kind of like Americana bands like Uncle Tupelo, and which later became Wilco, and I don't know, it was really interesting to see somebody that I had watched when I was in high school kind of go in that same direction, and so it was really interesting. I really enjoy their music.
How have you seen the band evolve from the years you've known them up to now? What are the differences in their songs, things that you've noticed just in their performance, their stage performances?
It's a loose term, but they're more grown up, I guess, in a way. I mean, when they were the Screaming Mimes, or when I should say Isaac was in the Screaming Mimes, a lot of their lyrics had to deal with just funny things. Like they had a song called "Stick of Butter" for a piece. I mean, like, and it was about a mom giving a kid a list of things to buy at the grocery store, and on that list was a quart of milk and a stick of butter, and it was a real crowd pleaser. And the whole thing was he took the money and bought candy with it. And now you have songs kind of deal with more adult themes and kind of have elements of aching and longing in them, stuff you can't really understand fully when you're in the 11th grade.
You have anything else you'd like to add before we go back to the studio shoot?
No, I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Well, without further ado, we'll return you to Big Silver, who played on this stage a few weeks ago, a few months ago, a few years ago. It depends what point in time you're watching this on Channel 6, because we don't produce that much programming. So, Big Silver.
Big Silver.
No, I wasn't.
Say my name like you did back then. I remember it so well. The smell of rain on a summer day, and the feelings you never felt. That was so long ago. I was young, I didn't know the years that I would spend only able to pretend that we were in love then, and that I meant anything to you. Anything is a real song. It's about a real thing that happened. It's just about like that kind of first relationship, love relationship that's totally one-sided, and you think it's not, and it actually was never anything, and that's basically the song. But for you can go years of your life almost thinking that you're in a relationship, but you really never are. And it's really just realizing that. We said goodbye, but it's only a made-up fairy tale. That was so long ago. I was young, I didn't know the years that I would spend only able to pretend that we were in love then, and that I meant anything to you. It's cold outside, even though it's July. A chill I feel even now. And a long sleeve shirt and a long last look and the smoldering fire wood.
The cool thing about Little Rock is you have just a handful of fans that will come and see a lot of, pretty much every time you play, and you can get to know them because there's, the community here is so small. You get to know them and you, by name, you can talk to them and hang out with them, have drinks with them and everything. And it's just got a real close, you get a real closer relationship. Memphis is real weird. We play over there at a club, and the sound guy's always talking about how the fans over there are spoiled, and I hear that they appreciate good music, but they don't really respond to it that much. And it's a weird animal over in Memphis. I don't dislike playing there at all. I enjoy it. Heck, I enjoy playing anywhere. But it's different over there. It's not like here, and it's not like Nashville. It's people come out, but they don't, and they listen, and they will come up to you after you're done or it breaks. And man, I really enjoy it, but you don't get you don't feel anything coming off of them while you're playing. And I really enjoy playing in Nashville because they put out an effort to come out and listen to bands that maybe they haven't heard before. Whereas in Memphis, and I hate to say it, but especially here, a lot of folks here don't really want to put out the effort to go hear original music that they haven't heard before, whether it's local or not.
I think music on the whole is hard right now. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there are a few bands in town who really get good turnouts to their shows, and that's great. But yeah, I mean, it's weird. I see the same faces a lot, and that's great, but it's not a whole lot, it's just like probably a handful of people come every time, and that's okay. I mean, really, we're trying to just get out of town more.
Little Rock kind of goes in spurts. You can, do a few shows and have a really great crowd, and then, have another show and not have hardly anybody there. And I mean, I think that's, probably the case with any town.
My job is an art director, and so I do that, which is for an advertising agency, it's kind of weird because I don't like advertising. On the whole, I don't like billboards and commercials, and I don't know, I just think it's a lot of clutter in the world that we don't really need. But you got to make money, and so that's what I do for a living.
Right now, I work at ULR on campus in the Office of Research and Sponsored Programs. I'm a grad student as well. Married to Amy Garland. Excellent songwriter she is.
So I just recently started in another band called the Salty Dogs. We kind of reverting back to what I was talking about with the old traditional country stuff. It's just your basic kind of Hank Williams, Buck Owens type thing, where steel guitar, drums, bass, and guitar. And just really, that's one of my favorite kind of sounds. It's kind of Bakersfield honky-tonk sounds, and we started that and played the showcase, and so that's been taking up some time doing that.
I play in another band called the Easies, and that's kind of another outlet for a different type of song than any other kind of music that I may write with other people. I try to keep it kind of separated and just to kind of keep it exciting.
The thing that sets them apart from a lot of groups to me is the songwriting. It's all about the songs, no matter what kind of style you're playing. If you don't have good songs, it's not interesting. And I think that's what Isaac and the rest of the guys do, is they really come up with some nice, well-written, lyrically and musically, they're good songs.
Well, I just decided a long time ago to keep making music, and if something happens, great. If something doesn't, that's fine too, because people say that you have to be totally 100% doing it to think that you'll ever be successful doing it. But I enjoy just kind of a simple life too much to really go out full force playing music all the time. I mean, I kind of like recording. I like making albums, and as long as we can keep making records and doing that kind of stuff, I'll be happy.
As far as things looking for the band, I mean, we just want to start, playing more. Not so much play bigger venues or anything. I mean, that'd all be great, but just kind of play a little bit more regionally and keep writing new songs, keep recording new songs, and just playing a lot.
My hunch is we'll probably just kind of keep doing what we're doing, put out CDs every now and then and play when it's fun and just enjoy each other's musical company. We'd like to get out, and I think we're trying to get into play up in Columbia, Missouri, and we'd love to get down to Texas. I think they'd really like us down there. Maybe some in Oxford. But yeah, just get out and play and get out on the road just a little bit more.